Hi everybody, welcome back. I really miss everyone. I hope we get to come back this school year so I can see all of you again. Today what we're going to talk about is solving systems of equations. And there's lots of different ways. So all of the problems that you have in this assignment are set up in standard form. So they're in the form AX plus BY equals C. Now if you remember, my favorite way to solve systems of equations that are in standard form is to use the matrix. So we're going to upload the instructions on how to use the matrix. If you have a calculator, there are step-by-step instructions in Classroom about downloading a free calculator, or if you have a graphing calculator at home, or you may have downloaded an app on your phone. So you can use matrix for all of these problems. And the other thing you can do is go to desmos.com, and Miss Mac is uploading the instructions for this, and you can put them in, and then you can graph the two equations just like they're written and find their intersection. But I'm going to show you how to solve them by hand. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve this system of equations using the elimination. That means one of my variables is going to go away. So if you notice, I have x plus y equals 30, and then x minus y equals 12. I think this was from the notes where it said the sum of two numbers is 30, the difference of two numbers is 12. Okay, so it's that problem. So if you notice, both of my x's are positive, but when you look at the y's, one is positive, one is negative, and they have the same coefficient of 1. So if I add these two equations together, one of my variables is going to be eliminated or disappear. So if I do x plus x, I get 2x. Y minus y, that just becomes 0 or gets eliminated. So I don't have to write anything down. They just cancel. Equals 30 plus 12 is 42. Now all I have to do is solve for x, and this is just a one-step equation. I divide both sides by 2. And when I do that, I find that x equals 42 divided by 2 is 21. So now I know that my x value is 21. In order to find y, I'm going to take this 21 and I'm going to substitute it back in the top equation. So instead of writing x, I'm going to write 21 plus y equals 30. I'm going to solve for y, and that's just a two-step equation. I'm going to subtract 21 from both sides. That gets eliminated, becomes a 0. Bring down the y equals 30 minus 21 is 9. So my solution is x equals 21, y equals 9. And that's it. All right, back to our next example. So this one is the problem where it talked about the math department buying calculators and glue sticks, I think. And we talked about how many they bought all together and then how much each of them cost. And we want to know how many of each that they bought. So here's our two equations, x plus y equals 30, and 22x plus 126y equals 2,220. So first let's see if we can do elimination. So we look at the two problems, and we have a 1x and a 22x. So if I add these two together, one of them does not get eliminated. And then we have a 1y and a 126y. And if I add those two together, I get 127y. So neither one of those is going to be eliminated either. So we're going to use substitution. So the first thing I have to do is solve my first equation for either x or y. And I'm going to solve for x. So in order to do that, I'm just going to take x plus y equals 30, and I'm going to subtract y from both sides. And I get x equals negative y plus 30. Because remember, 30 and negative y cannot be combined because they're not like terms. So now I know what x is. I'm going to plug this negative y plus 30 into my second equation everywhere there's an x. So I just have an x right here, so I'm going to do 22 and then parentheses negative y plus 30, close parentheses, but I have to keep writing the equation. Plus 126y equals 2,220. So now I'm going to distribute. 22 times negative y is negative 22y, plus 22 times 30 is 660, plus 126y equals 2,220. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to combine like terms. So negative 22y plus 126y. If I combine those, I end up with 104y plus 660 equals 2,220. The last step I'm going to do on the board right now is I'm going to subtract 660 from both sides. So when I do that, I bring down the 104y. This becomes 0 equals 1,560. Okay, so we're back to our equation. So we're back at the point where we had 104y equals 1,560. So all I have to do now is solve for y. So in order to do that, I'm going to divide both sides by 104. So when I do that, I get 15. So now I know that I bought 15 calculators. So now I need to figure out how many glue sticks I bought. So if y equals 15, I'm going to take this 15 and plug it back into the first equation. So now I have x plus 15 equals 30. Most of us can do the math in our head, but if you can't, subtract 15 from both sides, and x equals 15. So my solution is 15, 15. So 15 glue sticks, 15 calculators.